Welcome back to the Driver Excuses podcast. It's your favorite hosts, Timmy and Kevin Hansen here. We have been out and about in the world. I was racing in Tierp. Kevin has been VIP guest in Monaco at the Formula E. But first up, there's been so much cool stuff going on in the world of motorsport. First up, the 24 hours of Nürburgring and Max Verstappen's absolute show in that race. Like,
Absolute
how good
show.
is Max Verstappen?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe that by leading the race, in his first 24-hour race, leading with just 3 hours to go and fucking drive shaft breaks. I mean, there's so many drive shafts on that track, but he's had to break in the lead. It's just, I saw some posts on socials where it said Max's result is here since changing to start number 3, and it was like 8 in Australia, DNF in Shanghai, disqualified in Nürburgring race, and then some technical issue, and then finished 5th in Monaco, in Miami, and now drive shaft problem. His year has not been his best year so far, but Christ, is he a great racing driver.
We could bring him on to the Driver Excuses podcast because he must have a couple at this point.
He will have a few
after this
excuses
race.
this year. He will have a few excuses this
A
year.
lot of excuses. He's been so good in Nürburgring now. Like the post, I think it was Red Bull Motorsport posted like his video of going from P10 to P1 in his stint, and it's absolute like cinema. Like how do you do that? How, like, first of all, if you're 10th, you're quite the way down from the leader on the track.
In time,
yeah. And how do you pass around the Nürburgring? First of all, there is so many cars, and it's so narrow, and these cars are absolutely mental, going way faster than is reasonable around that place. People talk about going out there for the experience and doing a 10-minute lap or whatever. I don't know what lap times they did actually.
I think it's around just under the 8 minutes, or if it's just over 8 minutes, like 7:40 or 8:40. I can't remember which one, but it's a long lap. And I looked obviously on YouTube on the broadcast, and it was 250,000 people watching live on the YouTube stream, and obviously geo-blocked in other countries. It's huge. But what annoys me about this race, like you said, there's so many cars you need to lap and stuff. There is so many categories. Like there was an old Lada driving around, front wheel drive, going zero speed, and the GT3 cars are getting stuck behind it. What I would love to see is like GT3 and GT4 only on that race, and like have the all these other shit old cars and slow cars not participate, unlike the TCR cars. Like they don't need to be taking part. It looks a bit crazy, the race, when it's such huge time differences. And I was speaking to a mate of mine where I'm at now, and it's like, yeah, well, sure, it's nice to do it, but I would not want to do it in any other car than the GT3, because here in TCR, all you do is you look your mirrors, and if you do one little mistake by not looking enough behind, you crash. And it doesn't feel like it's like you want to get into your rhythm, and look forward and get to the details. No, mirror, 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 all the time, flashing, people flashing you.
Imagine being in that Lada, the front wheel drive, being the slowest car in that race.
Surely just never on the racing line.
No, just only look in the mirror the whole time. Imagine the relief after finally finishing 24 hours of getting overtaken.
Getting on the motorway, just be able to look forward.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No one passing me like crazy. No, but that is such a spectacle of a race, and there was so many people out there. And what I love about that race is it just feels like passion for racing. It's the fans are passionate about racing, and Max Verstappen, obviously being the massive star out there, he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to go and do that massive effort, but he just wants to race, and it's simple as that. And then he pulls out that mega performance and everything. But I was thinking during the race that because of all the things that's going like wrong, if you say, I mean, like lapping cars and being off your racing line and all of those things. I think, and the Nürburgring being such a long lap, it's as close as circuit racing will ever come to rallying, because circuit racing typically is everything's polished, everything's perfect. You know exactly your braking reference, you know exactly your turning point. And now at the Nürburgring, first of all, if you were alone, the lap is so long, so you can never get everything as perfect as you normally
No,
do.
not
And then
that
adding
precise. No.
on top of that, all the lapped cars. And I guess the big trick is to still go fast while lapping cars. So if you're having to go
Yeah,
around the outside of someone, you got to do that fast. And if you have
I
to
guess that's
judge and overtake, you have to do that fast. Like that's
I
very
guess
cool.
that's why
Like in
Max
rallying.
likes it, because he's
Mm,
like, you have to be aggressive, you have to go for the gap, you have to work the traffic, creative overtakes. Like he's always been very creative in his overtakes, so I guess that's why I really enjoyed it. Um, so no, but I mean, I don't know who won the race. Only thing I know about the whole race is what happened to Max,
yeah.
and that just shows like
It
it's
shows how
like
popular he is.
how popular it is, and also about just how I like how he's really just a racing lover, friendly to you can see he's not like a superstar walking in, like here I am doing the 24 hours, like just cracking on like everyone else with racing. And obviously everyone else loves, you know, the attention to him. But simple things like properly speaking to mechanics, you know, and then you're having a chat with the drivers, just hanging out in the paddock area, and like not just sitting in his camper, walking out like he's bit. I guess what Lewis Hamilton probably would have done, but it's different fame. Lewis Hamilton's the most marketable, profitable athlete in the world right now. Obviously, Max not quite that famous, but still, I like that he was down to earth like that, and it just shows how famous is, but still just he's not like he says himself. He's not a fashion icon or anything. Like he's just driver, family man, and just simple. And I think that's really nice to see. And also that I feel like he's really humble for also just letting his, let's say, ego Formula One go. I remember, you know, back in the day, Marcus Ericsson never came to any of our national team things because he was an F1 driver, and they don't want to, you know, lose their reference of just being an F1 driver, and you know everyone saying that they're best drivers in the world, so they don't want to be compared. Max just doesn't give a shit. He just, I want to drive the Nürburgring, I'll do that, and I think that's great.
Yeah. Big respect. Did
And
you
I
see the
think
guy who sang his song when he passed on the
yeah, when
radio?
it paused, I
Like
like that.
Max goes past and the guy opens
Doot,
the
doot,
radio and
doot,
goes
doot.
like, Max Verstappen. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh, that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
that's so
also
fun.
had two. I guess we had. Do we have two Swedes? Johan and Michaela race. I don't know how Johan got on. I saw Michaela. They her brakes blew up about 200 meters from the finish line of 24-hour race. So that was a shame. So
No,
they DNF'd.
no
Johan,
way.
I don't know how they got on.
I don't know either. I know they were out there. Johan
He's
is not
not the
the
greatest on
best
social
at,
media.
no, he's not the best at keeping people up. Like you have to really go out and search for what you do. But I
Yeah.
was interested. I really would like to know how Johan was doing, but he hasn't posted. And I guess
No.
fair, like he's
We
also
will
a
do in the end
racer.
of the week maybe.
Yeah, he's also a racer. I know, you know, he will have been in there watching the data and he will have been digging through everything and talking strategy and being full focus on the race and not really picking up his phone to take pictures and stuff. And so that's the only reason. But
Yeah.
it's a shame for us who wants to get, you know, share
Keep an
his
eye.
story.
Yeah.
Mm,
If we move on from trying to follow, I've been following like I do every year, the Indy 500 like an absolute lunatic. And obviously today's Monday. I think you will listen to this on Friday. So it's carb day if you're listening to this right now. But we obviously just watched last night the qualifying, and I can't believe Felix Rosenqvist is not on pole after the main run. Obviously, the qualifying was delayed, so everything was yesterday. The main run qualifying, he was 1 mile an hour quicker than everyone else. Same in the fast 12. But then in the last one, he said, I just don't know what happened. It's like I'm cursed. It's been the same thing happening to me the last 3 years. It's been super quick. And then just the performance is gone in the fast six. Maybe something about when it gets cooler later in the evening. The performance of their car maybe just drops. I don't know. He's got it. I really thought he was going to be on pole, but no.
Yeah, I
Come on,
think
Coco.
everyone thought that he would be on pole after like dominating the first parts of qualifying. Oh, a dog.
Ah,
Thought you were scared of
ah.
dogs.
Yeah, well, I am.
Why are you holding it?
Go around, Coco. You can say that.
Go away, dog.
Go away. Oh, no, it's...
Well, that will go on
Hello, yeah, you
social
can say
media.
that.
That's gold
There
there.
you go. Yeah,
That's
dog.
content gold.
Yeah,
Kevin being
everyone
scared of
loves a
dogs.
dog. Look, there's a dog. Look, there's a dog. Dog. Oh, see you then. Um, in the
So where
500.
were we? Felix.
So P4 in them for him. Palo
Yeah,
is on pole position. Your friend Alexander Rossi P2, and P3 is not Pato Ward, and it's not Santino Ferrucci, or is it? I can't remember
I
now.
did not follow it as much. I should have
Poor
because
form.
I was driving back from Tierp, my race, and in the camper I could have just turned on the broadcast, couldn't I?
Yeah, you should
But I
have.
didn't do it.
I love the Indy 500. It's the single greatest week, if you say. It's the single greatest race. I absolutely love it. So qualifying obviously is really important. So much drafting and stuff. You don't want to be down in the pack, but it was really high pressure. Everyone just got a single qualifying attempt. The Andretti cars choked absolutely down in the grid there, and no one in the top 20. Marcus was 21st or 22nd. Kirkwood 28 or something, like really, really terrible. So hopefully they have a good
Mm.
race car. I mean, the Marcus last year was really down low, but I watched the highlights of that yesterday before the quali, and he should have won that race. But obviously the lap cars gave Palou a tow last year, all last 15 laps.
Yeah.
But Marcus should have won. So yeah, it's a lot important with qualifying. But yeah, Felix will start fourth. We love Felix. He's such a great racing driver. And Palou will start from pole for the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Felix was the first one we reached out to with the Hansen Brothers podcast to join as a guest. But then for some reason it didn't really work out, and we were like, yeah, let's talk next week. And we didn't talk next week, so he still hasn't come on.
He will come on
But
after this, surely.
and now he's very much yeah. Now he will be busy. But you know what's funny about the Indy 500 is like it's such a hype race, and it's probably the biggest motor race in the world, you know. And they went, you know, like, okay, so we got this big race. How much time do we need, guys? Should do a weekend? No. That's the
Yeah,
regular race.
it's
No,
not enough.
should do a week race? No.
Long,
Let's do a month.
not enough.
We're gonna do a
Yes.
month.
Oh, I love a month.
Yeah. So month of May coming to an end, and next weekend, or this weekend now, if you're listening to this Friday when it drops, it's the Indy 500 week. So
And
I'm
make
gonna
sure
be
to tune in.
definitely watching.
It's 6:45 start time, I think, the green flag, Central European time.
I
So
love
just
how
everyone
nerdy
be
you are
aware.
on everything. It's so cool.
And you have
Nice.
to know, every detail. But you should tune in the 2 hours before, I think it is. Everything is happening. So you got the national anthem, you got the driver introductions. I think it's the day before also you can watch the pit stop race between the teams. So they used to launch with cars, forward, stop, pit stop, change, and go. There's a winner from that too. So there's a lot of entertainment from Indianapolis this week. But obviously, uh, today, or is it tomorrow? It's carb day, so it's the last practice day before they hit the track on Sunday. So yeah, big break, or maybe Friday's carb day. So yeah, not perfectly educated.
No, you gotta study up. You gotta study better.
Not perfectly educated.
No.
But it's going to be a
Andretti
great running.
invited me last year out in of Extreme E. I think it was last year or second last year.
2 years
To
ago.
come to the Indy 500 and watch with them, but we were racing somewhere with World Rallycross, so I couldn't go. It was such a bummer. Imagine being
Sure
in
you
the
will be.
pit lane.
I'm
That
sure
would
you'll
have
be
been
hosted again. You've been
something
an
else.
Andretti driver, so
Yeah, that would be cool. Talking about Andretti, Kevin, you have been in Monaco to visit Andretti for the Formula E race there. How was that?
it was great. It was my first time at Formula E. Obviously, we've been in a lot of electric racing the last few years in Extreme E, Rallycross. But finally, it was time to go to the home of electric racing with Formula E. And Andretti very kindly hosted me, obviously, with being a part of the team a little bit back in the day in Extreme E early days, the reserve driver, and did a test preseason together with everyone there. Um, and always being obviously with you driving there, obviously going in there a lot, being friends with everyone. So very kindly got hosted there and got to sit in the race car, which was really cool. Actually, quite lovely race seat. I thought it would be feeling a lot stranger, but really quite comfortable. So I could see myself giving that a little go for sure. And just also big thanks to the CEO Jeff Dodds and Alejandro Agag for hosting us in the Emotion Club, me and my friend, during the weekend. It was really nice view over the pit lane. Could see when they did their supercharging and or the pit boost as they call it, and also the action. So it was actually really interesting to get a little bit more of the insights. I met some of my friends, Joel Eriksson, which I've not seen in many years. He was super nice to meet up with, and saw his family. I did a lot of go-kart with him back in the day, so really nice to see him. Matt Stoffel, obviously everyone who's listened to the podcast knows Stoffel. So met up with him, Mitch Evans, Nick Cassidy, a lot of the friends from the paddock. So it was super great. And honestly, Formula E in person, maybe not an experience to sit just trackside and experience the speed and noise. Speed quite good, but also when you're there in the Emotion Club, you get to see the track just on the side, but also just feel everyone's interest in who's going to charge when and how the race plays out. And it's only 45 minutes, so it's not a forever race. Perfect actually to enjoy for the day. Qualifying was at 10:40, race at 3, then we was done. So a nice day out, really cool to see all the action. And I must say the new Gen 4 car looks really cool. And I think um, that's going to be the big break in electric racing. So I'm excited for Formula E.
Yeah, there's so much hype going on around that Gem 4 car, and it's so fast. It's
It's incredible.
what is it? 800 kilowatts or something, right?
No, 600 kilowatts peak power
600,
and
800 horsepower.
yeah, 800 horsepower, and it's only 1,000 kilos. So actually, it is
Hmm.
much more performing than a rallycross car. In this, he said he's
Yeah,
like, I've tried the rallycross car before, but this actually beats it. And before rallycross was like, peak. So impressive. I think that's going to be really cool to see. And unfortunately, they go more and more away from street circuits. But it's also because the cars are getting really quick. So they're like, we need to now go up to like the big F1 circuits because that more accommodates the car. But I do
mm.
think Formula E is all about going to the cities, going to see the people, electrifying the city. So I do hope they stick to the electrification of the streets, because if you lose that, I think you lose a little bit of the DNA. And I think Monaco and FE really work nicely together.
Yeah, but they do drive Formula One in Monaco even, so I
Exactly.
can host pretty fast cars.
So I think that it was really nice to go, and would be happy to go again. I would like to be even more. When you go to a new paddock, you don't really know the vibe, you don't really know the flow, and tricks. If you go to, I don't know, a rallycross race or a rally and stuff like that, you kind of know how to navigate the paddock and what to do and not. But here it was kind of new, kind of tricky, spread out. I don't think it's the best paddock because there's not really a paddock, because it's obviously just a pit lane and pit boxes. There's nowhere you can actually hang out. If you go to Barcelona or something, you have the behind where all the hospitalities and stuff are. So I'm sure it would be an even nicer experience then, where you can meet up with people more, sit down. But now it was kind of spread out, obviously, because it's Monaco and it's super small. So, but I loved it, and I had a good time. There was a lot of F1 drivers walking around, stuff like that. So celebrity packed as always in Monaco. And while we were sitting there, I was watching you create excuses in Sweden.
Yeah, lining up the new excuses. I was racing Rally X in Tierp in the FC2 car. They call it FC2 supercar also because it's not too far off of the European Championship supercars. 550 horsepower, a very capable car, super fast, and I had to learn it coming into the weekend. No testing, not even a shakedown. First time I pushed full throttle was onto the 3 lap practice that we had, and did those 3 laps. Some guy spun in front. It was a bit of a mess, and I was just like, wow, overwhelmed. Like that was a new track, a new car. I didn't find any rhythm. It was like, oh my god, like what am I getting myself into? I was like 2 seconds a
Yeah.
lap off during those first 3 laps. It's like, oh, this will be hard. Was
Yeah.
so we kept doing practice. I kept going closer. Then I got some puncture in Q1 in the first of the races. Something else happened in the second race. And then once we got to Q3 of the first race, I started to get the hang of this car and started to find the flow of the track. So I went fastest in Q3, got to start front row for the semifinal, won my semifinal, started raining at that point. So did a good launch in the wet. So got to start front row for the final after being 2 seconds a lap off in free practice. Front row for the final felt pretty good, and I was at this point I was like in the pace with everyone. So I took the start, another amazing start, and led into turn one. There was this hairpin down after a long straight, and get a tap from behind. Boom, 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 push me out. Someone up the inside. Me and Ollie Eriksson went side by side through this narrow chicane, and that gave me wheel damage, right rear. So race over. But I did lead the final for a while. But like, okay,
The first
another
whole
another
straight.
race. Yeah, the first whole straight, and the next day was a whole new race. So the Sunday we did Q1, 2, 3 semi and final another time. So I was like, sure, nice. Now we'll get going for real. I didn't have the best of Q1s. There was some, we lost a lot of time in lap one by fighting. I came out
Right.
second from the start, but passed the guys, so won my race, fifth time overall. But from there, I won Q2, I won Q3, I won the semifinal, and had pole position for the final. Like nice, and it felt like I had the best starts out of the people I'd been racing. Pole position, pace was good at this point. Like we were going fast. So looking forward to a race. Also, Casper Janssen was on the side. Niklas Grönholm was just behind. Ollie Eriksson had been crashing in the semi, so he wasn't in the final. But it was looking to be like a good race. Niklas Grönholm was going really fast. He was making like a tenth or so faster laps than me, so he was really able to put a lot of pressure, and we were having a good time. But I didn't survive far again. Casper made a brilliant outside move in turn one, so surviving from that P2 slot, even though I had the better start, surviving from that P2 slot, being side by side out of turn one, and for some reason, out of that first hairpin, I get like the longest. We have paddle shifting, and I get the
Yeah.
longest gear cut ever. So I lose. Like I was half a car ahead on the inside, and with this long gear cut, he starts to creep back. So he's suddenly now half a car ahead of me coming into this
Mm.
narrow chicane. You cannot fit 2 cars through there really, but we did go 2 cars side by side. And again, a little tap on my front left broke the steering arm, and like it wasn't like we pushed or it was not hard contact or anything like that, but a little tap, and again the final was over. So
How
even though
annoying.
it was a good race, I would say, free practice, 2 seconds a lap off to winning quite a few sessions and going quickly and doing good starts. I didn't get to go on the podium, and I didn't get to win one of the races, but that's life, I guess. Sometimes,
At least you had fun, Timmy.
at least I had fun. Exactly, it was good fun
So
though.
as mom would say.
It was. like a nice rallycross race, good good track, good car, good fighting. So very enjoyable overall, and had a good time.
It's
It's a
good.
fast car to drive, like very challenging. So I did at least have fun, even
Yeah,
though I
exactly. Yeah,
crashed.
at least fun.
But
That's the
winning is
main
much more
point.
fun than crashing. But I had
Yeah.
fun anyway.
Oh, no, but that's
Yeah,
good. It looked nice. It looked nice. It's good to be back on track. Hopefully we're
yeah,
both back on track soon again, because we need to create more excuses, don't we?
yeah. Well, I guess my next race is Dubrovnik E1. Not sure. Then I will race in Monaco after that. That would be
Oh
cool.
yeah, of
My first
course.
race in Monaco, but on the water outside.
I
But
think I think I'm in the. It's in July, isn't it? I think I'm in the south of France for a wedding or something. So
you're
otherwise I
not.
would have come, because I'm obviously here now in not far from Monaco, and would have been perfect to do the same again, going in for the E1 and have a look and see what how it's like in Monaco during that race. But no, unfortunately not.
Yeah. But there might be some other stuff coming up also, some one-off race that I was asked to do. But let me figure out the details before. Maybe next week I'll tell you what's coming up.
Great.
But a
Oh,
bit of
we can't
fun
wait for
coming.
that.
Mm,
Exactly. Nice. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in for another excuses filled podcast. And next week we'll be back with more motorsport news and obviously the recap of the Indy 500. And hopefully Timmy's next race. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.